August 24th, 79 AD. Dawn in Pompeii. The streets are already moving. Bakers pulling loaves from stone ovens, shopkeepers rolling up shutters, the first carts rattling over cobblestones. This is what a Roman city actually looked like. Not ruins, not plaster casts. A living city of 20,000 people going about an ordinary Tuesday. The sky was clear. The mountain was just a mountain, and by the end of the day, every single thing you're looking at would be buried under 12 feet of ash, frozen exactly where it fell. What Vesuvius did wasn't just destroy a city, it preserved one. The ovens were still lit, the bread was still inside, and the people were caught in the middle of lives that were never supposed to stop. This is what the ash remembered. The first person awake in Pompeii every morning wasn't a senator or a merchant. It was the baker. By 2 in the morning, the ovens were already lit. You can see the glow from the street. Inside, men are grinding grain by millstone, working in shifts that started before midnight. The loaves they pulled from the oven that morning were scored and stamped with the baker's mark. Archaeologists found them, still in the oven, 2,000 years later. The stamp tells you something. This was a routine. He pressed his mark into the dough before dawn. The millstones show wear patterns from generations of daily grinding, and the men turning those stones weren't employees. They were enslaved, bound to the oven and the schedule by iron and law. When the ash began to fall, the question of whether to run wasn't theirs to answer. The man who stamped that bread didn't own his own mourning. Not everyone in Pompeii had the chance to run, and one body makes that clear. In the basement of a villa, excavators found a man with iron shackles still locked around his ankles. He didn't die in the street. He died where he was kept. Roman households treated restraint as architecture. Chains, bolts, underground cells, built into estates the same way kitchens were. Look at that shackle. That's domestic property, managed like livestock. The man in that basement wasn't a prisoner of war awaiting trial. He was owned. The iron says so more clearly than any senator's history ever did. When you look at the bodies pulled from Pompeii, you have to ask how many others couldn't leave, not by choice, by design. At the Herculaneum Gate, archaeologists found a soldier still standing at his post, fully armored, spear in hand. The mountain is erupting behind him, and he hasn't moved. Every other person visible is running, away from the heat, away from the noise that must have sounded like the world ending. He stayed. Someone in the Roman chain of command had told him to stand there, and that command outlived the man who gave it. The armor, the posture, the exact position, all of it says he made a choice, or believed he had no choice at all. Roman military culture didn't just train soldiers to follow orders, it built men for whom abandoning a post was a worse fate than what was coming down the mountain. She had everything that should have saved her. Gold, status, a clear road out of the city. Near the Nuceria gate, her body was found with a bag stuffed full of jewelry and coins, her wealth literally clutched in her hands. The first hours of Vesuvius felt survivable. The ash was alarming, not lethal. That's exactly why she hesitated. She went back for the valuables. She waited for slaves to gather what she owned. She calculated, and the calculation was wrong. By the time the pyroclastic surge reached her, the road that had been open was now a death trap. What you grab when you're running for your life says something raw about what you believe will protect you. She held gold she'd never spend, because in the world she knew, gold had always been enough. Some of the most devastating casts ever pulled from Pompeii weren't found in the street. They were found in a single room, clustered together, adults folded over children, hands still reaching. You can read the arrangement like a text. The adults didn't scatter, they gathered, which is what every human instinct screams to do when the world ends. Roman family structure reinforced that pull. The household was legal and hierarchical, bound by the authority of the father. When the ash came, the family contracted inward. Sheltering indoors felt rational, walls, a roof. But the pyroclastic surge didn't negotiate with architecture. It moved faster than any person could run, and hotter than any room could survive. What the casts preserve isn't just death, it's the last decision these people ever made. repeating across the city, house after house, room after room. Pull back from every individual story, and a pattern emerges. The dead of Pompeii skew young. They skew poor. They skew enslaved. This isn't random. Wealth bought horses, carts, and a head start down the road before the sky turned black. The people left behind had no cart, no horse, and no one with authority to order a retreat. Bone analysis tells us their diets were thin, their bodies were worn, and many had never eaten well a single day of their lives. The wealthy are underrepresented among the dead because they are overrepresented among the ones who got out. What Vesuvius preserved, then, is almost a census of the forgotten. Workers, the bound, the young, the expendable. Written Roman history spent 2,000 years on emperors. The ash remembered everyone else. This is the ancient lens. What you're looking at isn't a disaster. It's the only archive where Rome's silent majority left a physical record no emperor could edit or erase. The baker who never came home. The man still in chains. The guard who refused to leave his post. The woman clutching her jewels. The family pressed together in that doorway. None of them appear in a single surviving text, but the ash remembered them, and that changes everything about how we see the ancient world. These are the real Romans, and they've been waiting 2,000 years for someone to finally see them.